until we do, all I was gonna say is until we do federal, it's such a certain amount of bullshit because
Oh, yeah, and
you
it's
know.
like I'm doing this tiptoeing right now, and it's kind of like,
What's nice, get this, Bob. I'm even CBD, which CBD federally is okay if it's um, what is it, point 0.3 or 0.03, what the hell it is. If it has less than, I believe it's 0.3% THC, then it's considered, under the CBD or whatever, and it's not a drug, so it's federally legal. And you still have to find websites that are okay with it. Like if I were to CBD my website right now that I own, dude, I'd get the fuck kicked off the next day. Like if I started selling a CBD product, they'd kick me out for life. Like you're gone. Come back.
Yeah, and that's where it's like, I'm like going, oh, this is gonna go. I need to tiptoe around a lot of things, and
well, I trust me when I say I already know the ink that you can work with. I already know the websites that you can work with. I just don't know if Squarespace is one of them. So I'm going to do some checking.
I appreciate that.
And I should have, you know what? I apologize. I should have asked if it was okay to mention who you were with, but I wasn't thinking that was a big deal because they'll find out once they go to your website. It's not like it's hidden.
Exactly.
A lot of people don't even know that. Like if you remove it, right? You have the thing that says by Shopify or whatever. You can still, if you're a coder, you can still go to the back end and look at the code and be like, oh, okay, this is a Squarespace site or this is a Wix site or whatever the hell it is.
Yeah. And just from what I gather, I'm okay, but I don't know 100%. I don't have
no, that's why like I say, dude, what I want to do, it's research, you know what I mean? It's just a matter of researching and getting it. And the thing is, if we do it right, I don't know what your credit's like, but you can get a $500 credit card and use that entire card. And probably, I'll look up your state, but you're probably going to maybe use half of that to put all your ducks in a row. And that's just to have your maintain cost, your normally monthly costs. But most of that will be startup, dude, because it'll be getting an LLC and it'll be getting some documentation done because you got to get your articles of incorporation when you do that. You have to get your bylaws. You have to get the one I'm not thinking of right now. There's one that puts all your procedures and shows the percentages of everybody, and that's the other one that you need. Can't think of the name right now, but there's like 3 or 4 of them that you need. Oh yeah, you'll absolutely get your when you do it, you will federally get your EIN number, which is your federal tax number. But when you do this, you'll also get a state number too, a state ID as well, and you have to know both of them.
Yeah,
so you got to know both of them.
Yep. So it's now getting to that point where it's more than just kind of like helping out friends.
But doesn't that excite you, dude? Like this, I mean, honestly, I think it scares you. Let me say, remember how you had fear of getting on a live stream?
Oh yeah. Here I am now.
My serious point is let go of any fear you have of being successful and just go with it, man.
I am, but it's like now it's like, okay, I have to really.
You do have to do some shit to go with it, but yes, it's.
Oh, but it's like now it's like okay, this is getting a little bit more and more. I mean, it was like I was at the dispensary here in Washington, and I gave the guy a couple of my business cards, and he goes, "Yeah, I've seen those around town."
Well, see, the thing is, man, first of all, you have a good product. Secondly, you're genuinely a nice guy, which people sense. All right. But here's the third problem with all that is that if you don't do all this right, then you're going to be taken advantage of by federal agents. You know what I mean? Like that's what I get worried about.
Oh yeah. And that's where I'm kind of like going, okay. Right now, it's just kind of a hobby. It's getting a little bit more than a hobby.
Well, I personally take it on the hobby. Please, Joe, shut us up. Say something. You've been over there rolling a joint or something.
No, I got a bong packed up and everything because unfortunately, guys, we didn't get this season finale done on 9/9. It happens to be 9/11 tonight, fellas.
Yes. It is
And
9/11.
I would just like to say, if we could all just take a moment in remembrance of what this day is. It's been many, many years, but we don't ever forget this day, y'all. Remember
No.
where you were. Remember what
Can I bring
happened.
up something?
Remember what it did.
This is very important to me because this is year 22 since it happened. The same number of years my son was when he passed away. For me, that number means something now forever. So this is the 22nd anniversary of 9/11. 22 years.
I can't believe how fast time has gone by.
Yeah.
No. All right. So I'm going to do this. Joe, you tell us when to be quiet and you start talking again. But can you give me a minute because I lost my dab tool and I was about to do it for this. I gotta.
Oh yeah, of course. What I can say real quick is just I'll share mine because I remember like it was yesterday because it's so old fashioned sounding when I share it. I was in 8th grade, I believe, and all of a sudden we just seen an announcement come over the radio to turn on the TVs in the classroom, and it was 25 minutes for my family to get to our school. I hadn't been watching the television for maybe 15 minutes. My grandmother knew which period I was in, opened the door, and said, Joseph, get your things. We're leaving. Something bad's happened. And all I remember was we sat on the porch right beside the stereo that was on our pontoon boat. We had the pontoon boat on the porch. And we were just listening to it, man. My grandfather was an old Marine, and it still gives me chills, man, the way he looked and just the devastation of what it did all just like in the blink of an eye, man. Blink of an eye.
I've talked about this before, and I'm not going to talk about the conspiracy theories around it. What I'm just going to talk about is the fact that no matter what you believe, around 3,000 people died in that day due to this. And I remember, to give you an idea how harsh it is, you've heard me talk about my grandfather, right, who was at Pearl Harbor. Okay, so I've talked about him. I went to him within hours of the buildings had actually fallen, put it that way. So it wasn't even hours, it was within minutes still. And I'm like, how should I feel about this? And his answer to me then, and it rocked my world, he was like, I can't give you a comparison because ours was at wartime and it was mostly enlisted men who were killed. It wasn't a bunch of innocent people and innocent bystanders that killed at Pearl Harbor. You know what I mean? There were some, I'm not saying that, but in comparison, it wasn't the same. It wasn't the same.
Same magnitude. And
yeah, I mean, like he pointed that out to me right away, you know.
Yeah,
I appreciate that, guys. Cheers. I just wanted to share that for a moment.
No, dude. We're gonna do wait. I want to hear Bob's, and then we're gonna do a moment of silence.
Okay. Yes, of course.
I was actually stuck at work.
High. Don't pay me attention.
I was actually stuck at work working the front desk at a hotel. When
you were at a hotel,
happened, I couldn't do nothing.
Wow.
I could just sit there and watch. I mean, it wasn't like I got any time to even look at it or reflect on it. I was stuck at work during this.
Yep.
That's really how it was, man.
Just out of curiosity, did you make like any phone calls to, like, you know, was there anybody that you had to immediately call and
thank goodness no. Thank goodness no. But I had a bunch of guests coming down going, what the hell is going on? And it's like, I know as much as you do. The world just went to hell in a handbasket. That's all I knew.
Well, let's do. I don't have my timer on me, so somebody get a timer. But let's do 30 seconds of silence. You can smoke whatever. Let me get the cough out of me now. Let's do 30 seconds of silence, and we'll start it right now. I want to say one of the things that that happened to me that, and some of y'all are gonna know what I'm talking about. My boys were only 14 months, like my youngest. You know what I mean? They were not old enough to have a discussion with. So the only discussions that I had were with my parents or my uncles, if that makes any sense. And I say that only because years later, when they were in school, I'm sure some of y'all remember this, but you know, that's now like our history books were changed that day compared to what all of us here, you know, went through when we went to school. You know what I mean? And changed in more than just one way, not just the attack itself, but like everything with Al Qaeda and the Middle East and everything that's going on, you know. And it's funny because later on, my boys, yeah, it did. The world changed as we knew it, and my boys asked me about it later on, you know.
I mean, it was like me and my friends, all we could do was just kind of look at each other in shock and awe, and didn't have any words for it. It's like, what do you say? What do you do? I mean, you were shocked in a blink of a second.
It was so out of context of what we knew as a society that, you know, it really, how do you, I don't think anybody knew how to act, dude. Like everybody that was alive for the most part wasn't, hadn't been alive for any other major attacks of any kind. You know what I'm saying? So what's the word? You don't know how to act in something like that until you've already been through it one time, period. That's the point that I'm trying to make. Like, and if you have been through it, which, you know, I don't think anybody can. I mean, the closest thing would maybe have been there the day where the first bombing, remember that was what was it? 92 or something? What was that first one on the Trade Center? Well, it was Omaha, but I was thinking about the first attempt. Don't you remember when they attempted the Trade Center bombing, or the World Trade Center bombing? There was a attempted one early in the 90s.
Oh yeah, out front
failed
with a van or something. It was.
Yeah, they didn't. Yeah. It didn't happen. But it was, you know, you still have essentially 96. Thank you, Dirty. 96. Yep, and the bomb went off, but it was far out. It was well enough outside, I think, to not really mess with the foundation or anything. Right? Did the bomb go off that thing? I'm pretty sure it did.
Yeah.
My only point, because I digress, pardon me, is that if you haven't been through something like that, you don't know how to act. And once you do, I think you have to go in with a lot of tact.
Yes.
I don't know how y'all remember it, but I remember there was, I feel like 50% of the people in this country handled it correctly, and the other 50% of the people didn't. Just down the middle. That's all I'll say.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's just, and I mean, it's like even to this day, the countless amount of people that we keep losing because of it. I mean, it's just, it's not right. You know, we got to support them.
Right. My wife, funny enough, sorry, I'm sitting here. My ashtray's so full that I had to drop a roach. So my wife, her boyfriend at the time, this is one of the many stories that I've heard, but I the guy too. He was supposed to be on like I can't remember what it was. I'm pretty sure that it was a floor below the hit, right? But still, he was supposed to be at work that day in a meeting. And it's just funny how, like, you know, all these people have these stories of that. And when I say funny, I don't mean ha-ha, obviously. I mean just peculiar, because that, to me, proves the point of everything happens for a reason, because the ones that made it, if you will, the ones that lived were the ones that were supposed to live that day. Yeah, I mean, and one way or another, they were helped to make it, you know. The thing is, like, a lot of people don't know how many, due to such a ridiculous number of emergency guys died in comparison to what you would have thought. Like, the numbers A lot of,
the amount of
what do you call them?
firefighters,
First
man.
responders. Yeah,
Oh,
the
my
fire, the firefighters and the first responders, man.
And actually, that was the same year or same month.
And then afterwards,
Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, it was 2 weeks after the 9/11 is when I had my car accident.
Get the fuck out of here.
No.
Wow. That's crazy. You did, Joe, I know you know Bob and are aware of him, but did you know that part of what put Bob on the track that he's on was a bad car accident back in 2001?
Well, that was my back injury when I was 17.
Oh, I'm sorry. That was your, sorry, the back injury.
But the car accident was what kind of set me around and woke me up in life, in a sense.
oh Jesus. Yeah, I know about them stories. I got a book of them. Pretty much, you would think Dr. Seuss wrote my life.
I'm pretty sure that Dr. Ruth Seuss wrote mine. So it's a combination of twisted.
I think the National Highway Institute is the one that wrote mine. I should have survived that accident. 75 feet straight down to the nose of the car.
You know, I'm gonna have a at some point, whether it's a pre-record or live, I really want to do an interview with you of the car accident as well as the back accident. You know what I mean? Like where you really explain it, because I think that would be interesting to people to know what you've been through and what you know, like, because I mean, it just gives, to me, it's not about people like us, and I'm talking to Joe too. We're not looking for sympathy. We're sharing our story, and I think that's why you should share, so that you give hope and faith to other people who have been through some shit. That, hey, just because you fell off a fucking mountain doesn't mean that the life is over. Like, especially if you lived, you still have more to give.
Yeah, I'm still here. I'm upright. Yeah, I might have a few bumps and bruises, but I'm still able to do what I am, and I'm able to give and enjoy life. And
never know when to quit. That's what I say.
No, there is no quit. Look, we've talked about it, Joe. The only time you quit is when you're dead. That's when you can fucking quit.
Damn right. Even then, I'm gonna keep going. I'm gonna make the ground grow when I die.
Well, I was gonna go to your gravesite and just feed it blue pills, so that way I can always see it grow and see.
There you go. Just sprout up. Yep. I'll say this though. It's funny to me. Like, I truly don't get somebody who's lived in this world for any amount of time. Let's say, to give it some context, and I don't mean this rude, but let's say you've been here for at least 30 years. Okay. I don't see how you could still possibly think this world is all there is. Don't get atheist. I really do not get it. It's like they would prefer to ignore the evidence that has been brought against them in there, as far as that way of thinking. You know what I mean? Like,
dude, it's like, nope, I don't have a subconscious mind. That doesn't exist. Get the fuck out
of
there. Okay.
Yep, I don't have a subconscious mind, and anybody who said that they died for 20 minutes is a liar. What? Dude, these are documented cases. Like, we know that there's something beyond. We just don't want to definitively say yes.
People have made it to the morgue and wake up in the ice cooler, man.
Well, it was like when I had my car accident. I remember floating outside of my car, looking at myself inside of it. I remember,
and that happens to a lot of people when they go through really bad accidents. They see down, like literally, like they're in a fucking drone. What the hell is going on?
I swore that I got out of my car.
You're
swore I was
outside within your realm.
I mean, it was like, and I swore I tried to go up the hill, but the paramedics were like, "Oh no, you were pinned in your car, and we had to cut you out." But it's just
right. Your memory though, outside that vehicle, looking down at it, that right there, like, dude, you can't have these. I'm not going to say can't, because every atheist will jump up and down. You can. To me, if you have memories, to deny them, I think is it's the whole thing. Like, and I know I'm going off on a tangent here, but people that don't believe in Mandela, I'm like, dude, I'm telling you, I know what my memories are. I'm not crazy. I have lived life for 51 years and shit has straight changed. It's a different memory. Do you really think that I have 340 delusional memories?
Well, maybe a few.
I am the one. I love that movie.
Now, which one? See, I love Matrix, but do you remember the one?
No, I don't remember that one.
Yeah, where
remember
he goes and he has
Joe?
to kill himself everywhere. Yeah.
Yeah, he has to kill himself
Oh, yeah.
everywhere. Yeah. So if you go back and watch it, it came out like 2001 or two, somewhere in there. And it's Jet Li. And he plays, it was one of the first movies to deal with multiverse, right?
Interesting.
So what this guy has found out is that every time a version of him dies in another verse, he gets stronger. So now he's jumping through verses just to kill himself, to make himself the ultimate version of himself. It's a pretty cool story.
Interesting.
It is.
I mean, it was like
I think they should do it again. I'll say that, Joe. It's so old. You're over 20 years old. They could redo that and do it a lot better than the. I mean, I still enjoy watching it, but dude, to watch now, you're like, oh my god, dude, they need to do this, they need to do that. Could have done a drone shot here. What the hell?
Yeah, it's kind of like another really good one they redid was the Judge Dredd. The old one was
great,
awesome. I loved it.
Yes, but the new one is bad ass, dude. Do you not like the new one?
It is, and
I haven't seen the new one.
But it blows my mind. Now, this is going to blow your mind real quick, Spirit. You know the little inhaler thing that he does, the little drug?
Yep.
Look at all the vapes and everything now that we have. It's like...
It's happening.
Oh, I know. This is what's
I'll tell you this, though, dude. What is that? Oh, you're new. Yeah. Did you? I meant to tell you. Don't know if you heard, but he got this about a month and a half ago now, isn't it?
About a month ago. A little over a month ago.
Okay.
Time flies when you're.
We're in the process of letting one go.
Yep, I know.
There he is.
They're all his mother-in-law just lost a dog and they put it to sleep 3 days ago, Bob?
Yeah, it was like 3 days ago. She'd been kind of hanging around. It was just kind of time. She wasn't fully going to the bathroom and doing what she was supposed to do. And
dude, we had to do it with one of ours about it was 2 years ago now. Yep. So right around, not quite, or excuse me, almost 3 years ago. So not quite 3 years ago. Come November, we had to put down the one that had been with my boys since they were like 7, and he didn't have any more left to give, dude. That's the only way I know how to say it. Like, that dog had given. And the reason that it got worse, to say this, so the dog was in bad condition, right? But when my son lived here, he took care of this dog. He carried him up the steps. I mean, that's how old he was, right? Like, he couldn't do steps anymore. He could barely use the bath, so he'd carry him outside. He made him rice and fucking chicken, boiled chicken, like for dinner all the time, so they didn't have to hardly chew anymore because his teeth were so bad. And then when he moved out, he didn't have, he was being an adult, but he didn't have the situation to do that. And so the dog stayed with us. And I'm telling you, man, I'm almost going to hear it. It's like he lost all will to live when he didn't have my son anymore. It was like he just didn't have, like, he stopped being. What's funny is you would see little pieces of him in the sense of getting excited and be happy when my son was here. But once he left, it was like it was whatever was left. Was just gone.
What was like Roxy? She didn't want anything to do with me for like the first week and a half after we brought him home. She's like, "Screw you, Dad. You brought this little freaking demon in the house."
Exactly. But she'll, I'm sure that the more love you show the new puppy, the more she'll be okay with it.
She's fine now, but yeah, she's
Total Recall. That's a good one.
I actually like both of those. I like the original one still today with Arnie, But I also like the new one that they did with his name, Colin Farrell. I thought that one was pretty. They put a new twist on it that I thought was pretty cool. Have you seen the new one?
Here we go. Let's see if y'all know this one. I identify as a meat popsicle.
Oh my god, dude, are you kidding me? That's Fifth Element, man. One of my favorites. That's one.
That one.
They never need to remake that one, dude. Honestly.
I've never
Never.
heard
They
of
better
it, but
never
it takes
touch
me in a whole different direction that I shouldn't be going.
Oh, when you said I identify as a me.
I knew it would. I thought it would grab one of y'all.
That's a classic one though, dude. I love that one. That's the just so everybody knows, that's the scene where the police are coming to his house and he answers the questions right, but the next guy does not answer the questions right.
Wrong answer.
Wrong
I've heard
answer.
that line, but not in a movie. Well, at least not a movie that's been out that publicly can be seen.
I get it. Totally get it.
I have less than 25 minutes, bro, for my wife gets out of work and I made a mess in my kitchen and I want to make sure I get a little snuggle time tonight.
Well, no, what I was going to say is, do you want to take us on a quick tour of the Halloween stuff? And then
I need to get dinner going. Sean has to get up early in the morning.
I will have to do that
too.
on the next show. I will have to do that on the next show because I didn't mow my yard. Dude, it rained all day. I'll probably fall down. I'm so high, dude. I'm chilling. Like
Hey,
if I
kind of
can get
have
the dishes put in the dishwasher, I'll be lucky.
I am completely but I'm sorry. Like I looked down and all of a sudden I didn't see it in the theaters, dude. I saw it on fucking VHS like the first day it came out. But I was old enough to see it. You and I aren't much different in age. I just didn't go to the theaters and see it. That was the only problem. All I was gonna say is shit. First of all, it doesn't matter what your fucking shit looks like. I don't care. That's just the way it is. But secondly, I didn't want it on here all night anyway. I've got a shit ton to do. One of the things I'm doing, and both of you guys will get an email within the next 24 hours. I'm going to have, because I want to keep up with the tracking and the orders themselves, you're going to get an email from Knockoff that will allow you to order your sampler. And they have the full instructions. You won't have to pay for anything. It'll allow you to order it, put in your address, you'll get it, and then it'll be off and running.
Okay.
So be looking for that because I can at least keep my word on that. I've got to do a t-shirt
will
too.
Be coming out very soon, everybody.
I have not forgotten.
It'll be coming out very soon. Y'all keep an eye out for this. It's
Move over.
John Wick fucking, there we go.
There you go.
Gotta get it all nice and shiny for you.
There you go.
I had someone refer to this as a John Wick token, guys. I thought that was pretty cool.
Right?
That is cool.
But one day, if we get the kind of money, dude, we'll make a series of actual gold coins that we that would be badass, dude. I'm just saying, if I have enough money to do it, that would be pretty cool. That's a nice slab of gold, man.
I have something, everyone, that is very special and dear to me. It's actually it's an anniversary concert that I'm going to with my wife, and it's for a very special individual that's been singing over the years since back whenever I was in Lakeland, Florida, all the way up till now. And he's really compelled me to meet him, and I've reached out to him for a couple years now, and I'm looking forward to possibly meeting this guy. It's a small concert, and it's only fits like 200 people. And he's possibly going to get one of these coins from me if our conversation goes well. Yes, sir.
You know what? I have to say this, and I'm praying for you. The one thing that bothers me, and I will not name names because that's not what I do, but there was a guy that I was so stoked to see. And what's funny is I hung out. I got there early so that I could meet him during setup, right? Mm-hmm. I even helped him set up all the stuff. Hold on. And I sent him an email like he asked me
Go,
to do
go,
because he said he was going to.
go.
He said he was going to be. He said he would come on the show and all that stuff. And I sent him an email, and I never heard back from him. What really bothered me is, like, I'm all about, like, if you say you're going to do something, do it, or at least bare minimum show recognition that you haven't done it. Let them know I haven't forgotten, or this is what's going on. They're like, and what I mean by that is he didn't have, what was it, a poster that night that he normally gives to all his so I bought VIP and I bought regular, just so you know, right? And there was a poster that people normally get, but didn't have the poster that night. And he told all of us there, hey, just send me an email and you'll at least get the poster, because they collect our email address in the day and age, right? Like, we all went through a vendor that was online, so we had to have email, and we were all supposed to get a poster. Never got a poster, never got a response. And see, I'm only bringing this up, man, for one reason. If you do that, like, I really like this guy. I haven't listened to his songs since, because now when his songs come on, it's like tainted.
Yep.
Do you know what I mean? And I don't like that, but I'm just saying, if you say one thing, I don't care if you're famous. I don't care if you're in the fucking, living in the streets. I don't care if you're a president or if you control absolutely nothing. If you say something, do it, or at least recognize it when you have it. I even have, how many times now, Bob, have I said I'm going to do my t-shirt for you? Yes, he knows that I'm not going to forget before. I mean, and the only way I'm not going to do it is if I die. But he knows I have a lot of other things on my plate, but I have never forgotten it.
Exactly. And it's like me. It's like, I will always keep my word. My word is my binding.
It's not hard. It's not hard. I'm only saying that to everybody as they watch and as they do their own things. You gain the greatest respect in this world if you just keep your word and do what you said you're going to do. And I truly,
whichever
truly
way
believe
it goes, don't just drop it. Follow through with it. Never quit. Never fucking quit.
Actions. Dude, the first show that Medic was on, the first show Medic was on, I don't know if you remember, Joe, but the name of that was Actions Speak Louder Than Words. And the whole point of that is just to talk. I mean, I can talk about every time I go live. I can talk about that concept, because it is needed more than ever before today. And without sounding pessimistic, it's lacking more than ever before today.
Oh, yeah.
It's just one of those. What's up, Tom? Sorry you didn't make it, buddy. Love you, bro. There's Tom.
There's the late bird.
That's okay. We'll get you on another episode next season, dude. Do not sweat it, Tom. I promise.
The pandemic is
what. It's all right.
The pandemic is what created all this. I mean,
I do believe that it definitely had a hand, and people stopped being social, but it's fun because my mom was like, oh, COVID's got a new variant. And I was like, I don't give a fuck. I mean, and it's not because I don't mean it to sound disrespectful. I know a lot of people die, but when you do look at the real numbers and understand what actually happened, it wasn't even a fucking ripple in the population of this world.
It's like, if I have to go get like a annual COVID shot, like a flu shot, it's like, hey, whatever.
That's exactly like, but I'm not going to be scared into putting on masks and running around like it just, I think what we did was right. Don't let me, I'm not trying to get political. I think what we did was right. So we just stopped it, and got a vaccine. I just think it could have been handled differently. And I think the way that, scare tactics do not have to be used to convince me of common sense measures. That's all I'm saying. Put it that way.
Yeah. Oh, I hear you on that one, brother.
What happened? Now I'm curious. What happened to MGM? What happened? I have to ask. Do you see this? So somebody said, does anybody know what happened to Vegas? MGM?
Nope.
No.
Don't.
I'm gonna have to go. I'm gonna do some searching.
Everyone, I've got 15 minutes to get my dishes put away, or I ain't getting no dishes.
All right. Hey, I love you. I'm going to take off anyway. We can all go look it up ourselves. Hey, thanks for being here, guys. I mean it. I appreciate it. Thanks for chatting with me and hanging out for a little bit.
Love you guys.
Always,
it was
bro.
good. And
Yeah.
like I said,
Good
both
good
of you
to
all,
finally voice with you, Green. I loved it,
Well,
man.
I have,
nice to meet you too, man.
no, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
I'm just gonna give a hug now.
Okay. There we go. There we go.
There we go.
Let me just say, and get one of these. Get one of these.
There we go.
There we go. So just know this, guys. Love you. I have both of your emails. Dirty, I'll probably be getting one to you, an email to you, and you'll know what it is. We'll get it. So just start to spread the word and love. And all I really want you to do is actually use it and tell me, because I mean, I'm telling you, people are coming back and they're like, this is insane how fucking good this works. So
I'm looking forward to it.
Looking to it, man.
Very soon.
Oh yeah.
I'm almost done. I've just been working. So
Work,
I love you
work,
guys.
work. Love you. You have a great night.
Smoking.
Oh,
Later.
yeah.
I'm gonna let
Cheers.
Dirty go, and then I'm gonna let you go, and I'm gonna say goodbye. I love you, man. I will talk
Love
to
you
you soon.
too. You have a great night, brother.
Peace.
Peace.
All right, everybody. Thank you so much for yet another season. I really appreciate it. Have a wonderful, blessed rest of this week, since it's here just at the beginning, and a wonderful next week. I will be back in about 11 days, unless you hear something different. So I love all you guys. Have a wonderful, wonderful rest of the season, because my new season starts on September 22nd, which is the first day of fall. So have the beautiful rest of your summer. And what's the word I'm looking for? I don't know. Just be safe, be good. Know that you are special. You're part of the puzzle. I love each and every one of you. And if you ever want to be on the show, just reach out to me, because it's not hard. All I got to do is send an email with a link, and then you can be on here and have a discussion too. So everybody have a wonderful evening. Stay safe. Stay blessed. See you in 11 days, unless otherwise told. Peace.
I switch hit, I'm a strange fuck. Consistent ain't something I could say well. Throw my change into the wishing for a change well. Wish a day is swell life for the next come. And when the next come, pretend that it's the best one. Like I ain't even gonna try and say that to the next one. So